RTX 5070 के साथ आने वाला MSI Vector 16HX AI क्या नेक्स्ट जनरेशन गेमिंग एक्सपीरियंस देता है या फिर ये सिर्फ एक महंगा गेमिंग लैपटॉप है? To answer that, we have to look closely at the MSI Vector 16HX AI. The centerpiece of this machine is the new NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti, built on the Blackwell architecture, alongside Intel's Core Ultra processor line. This hardware combination requires a specific mindset from the buyer. This is engineered to be a heavy-duty mobile workstation, a desktop replacement that travels from one desk to another, rather than an ultra-portable designed to be slipped into a backpack for a coffee shop. The physical materials make that purpose clear. MSI opted for a rigid metal lid to protect the screen, but paired it with a thicker, cost-saving plastic base. The result is an unapologetic gaming brick that prioritizes internal space over a slim profile. That metal lid houses a 16-inch QHD Plus display with a 240Hz refresh rate. It uses a taller 16:10 aspect ratio and covers 100% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, giving you the sharpness and high-speed motion clarity required for competitive esports. However, choosing an IPS panel at this price point comes with a visual trade-off. While the motion handling is excellent, it lacks the inky blacks and infinite contrast you would get from an OLED screen, and there is no HDR support here. The exterior design and the matte high-refresh display set immediate expectations. This is a function-over-form machine, built to deliver the highest possible frames per second, actively ignoring aesthetic finesse to get there. Underneath that plastic chassis, the Vector relies on pairing an Intel Core Ultra 7 or 9 processor directly with the RTX 5070 Ti. By splitting workloads across 3 distinct processors, this system extracts high performance for every watt used. General computing stays on the CPU, heavy parallel tasks go straight to the GPU, and a dedicated NPU handles continuous, low-power AI inference. Extracting that maximum compute capability requires a massive amount of grid power. To see the highest clocks, you are effectively tethered to a wall outlet. For gaming, MSI feeds the RTX 5070 Ti a maximum thermal graphics power budget of 140 watts. It pairs that deep power draw with NVIDIA's DLSS 4 and multi-frame generation technologies. This chart shows the new hardware outpacing the older RTX 4080 at 2K resolution. But separating the 5070 Ti results reveals a different reality. The native rasterization numbers are lower. The highest frame rate gains rely entirely on AI software generating extra frames. The high benchmarks are impressive, but the true edge comes from relying on AI software tools to multiply the raw hardware power rather than brute forcing the pixels alone. Pushing 140 watts into a GPU generates massive heat, which brings us to the thermal management. MSI uses their Cooler Boost technology, which is the exact reason this chassis is so thick. The benefit of this bulky cooling system is stability. It successfully prevents thermal throttling, allowing the CPU and GPU to maintain their peak clock speeds even during a 3-hour rendering session. This split screen visualizes the acoustic cost of that stability. On the left, the thermal heat map shows temperatures staying entirely safe under load. But on the right, as fans ramp up, the noise reaches jet engine decibel levels. A noise-canceling headset is practically mandatory. For AI developers and 3D creators, the draw is the 140-watt sustained compute power combined with the 12 gigabytes of VRAM on the 5070 Ti. Having that much local memory allows developers to load and fine-tune small and large language models directly on the machine, entirely avoiding expensive cloud computing costs during the prototyping phase. However, video editors face an immediate bottleneck. Trying to scrub a heavy 4K timeline or run multiple creative apps will instantly hit the ceiling of the base 16 gigabytes of system RAM. That brings us to the base storage configuration. Out of the box, you get a 512 gigabyte Gen 4 SSD and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Limiting memory and storage at the factory is the primary reason MSI can keep the purchase price of this configuration accessible, often dropping under $2,000. But as this total cost of ownership table shows, that base price hides upfront costs. 512 gigabytes is severely cramped for modern games. To make this a daily driver, you are forced to open the chassis, risk breaking the warranty sticker,
and purchase a second NVMe drive and a 32GB RAM kit yourself. Away from the wall, the large 90-watt-hour battery offers an acceptable amount of runtime if you stick to basic office productivity or media playback. But the moment you launch a game unplugged, the high power draw of the HX processor drains the battery rapidly, and your frame rates will absolutely tank without grid power. As for the daily touchpoints, the MSI AI Care software intuitively manages your performance profiles in the background. Physically, the keyboard exhibits slight flex in the center, and the trackpad clicks are stiff, meaning you will likely want to plug in an external mouse and keyboard. The sub-$2,000 price tag requires compromise. You save cash upfront by accepting significant acoustic discomfort, a heavy plastic build, and the immediate chore of manually upgrading the storage. To summarize, you get elite QHD+ frame rates, exceptional local AI processing, and a fast 240Hz screen. You pay for it with extremely loud fans, a bulky plastic base, and a cramped initial hard drive. Positioned below the highly expensive RTX 5080 models, the 5070 Ti inside the Vector occupies a clear value sweet spot. It matches the price points of older 40 series machines while delivering significantly better electrical efficiency. This matrix shows where this machine fits. Landing in the high compute, low portability quadrant, it is perfectly suited for hardcore gamers, engineering students, and AI developers. Conversely, looking opposite, frequent travelers, casual users, and anyone highly sensitive to noise should completely avoid it. If you are coming from an RTX 30 series laptop or older, the leap in architectural efficiency and the integration of DLSS 4 make this a highly future-proof hardware upgrade.
MSI Vector 16HX AI की असली ताकत गेमिंग और प्रोडक्टिविटी के बीच का वो संतुलन है जो इसे एक वर्सेटाइल मशीन बनाता है। अगर आपकी प्राथमिकता हाई एंड गेमिंग, AI वर्कलोड्स और प्रोफेशनल एफिशिएंसी है, तो ये हार्डवेयर आपके लिए एक बेहतरीन विकल्प है, बशर्ते आप इसके शोर और फिजिकल कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस को स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार हों। Spec sheets and synthetic benchmarks only tell half the story. The true value of any machine is found only when its specific hardware trade-offs perfectly match the daily reality of the person using it.